Hi, I'm Dave Hanneman with the Findlay Courier Sports Department, here with Ted Radick and Andrew Williams for another edition of this week's look at the high school games going on the schedule this year. Before we jump into anything, I'd like to ask the guys, what's been your biggest surprise this year? What teams are surprising you? What teams kind of letting you down?
Van Buren's the biggest. I mean, they're the story of the year so far.
They're coming off a big win off Macomb.
Yep. Columbus Grove 3-0. They've already surpassed their win total from last season, so they've been a pleasant surprise.
Andrew, somebody jumping out at you, bud?
Kind of the fall that Patrick Henry's taken is kind of surprising, and just how underwhelming they've played so far this year. Fostoria getting a couple of wins, breaking that long losing streak, so that's been nice to see. But yeah, there's been a lot of surprises early on this season.
Speaking of Van Buren jumping out there and having a good season, Andrew's going to go out there and see the Macomb Van Buren game Friday night. What do you expect to see?
Arlington Van Buren.
Oh, I'm sorry, Arlington Van Buren.
Yeah, I've seen Arlington play a couple of times. A very strong team, leads the league in offense, third in total defense. They've got more balance this year with Radick running the ball, and they've got Dominique Fuller at quarterback, able to throw a little bit more than they have in the past. Beat Hopewell pretty badly last week. It wasn't a close game at all. Van Buren coming off a very big win against Macomb, first time they beat Macomb in 15 years, you said, and so we'll see if they're able to continue that magic this week against Arlington. I think Arlington's a much tougher team than Macomb is, so a tougher test, but we'll see if they got it in them.
I think you mentioned to me the other week too, Arlington's got a pretty good offensive line.
Yeah, they have 4 or 5 guys back from last year, and I believe all 5 of them are seniors, so it's not just the running back that they have in Radick, but a very experienced offensive line that can move the chains, and now that they can throw it too, they're real dangerous.
Ted, you'll be going out this Friday night to watch Cary, I believe. Winford and Cary?
That's correct. Winford came off a one loss to Liberty Benton, and went on the road and beat a pretty good Colonel Crawford team, 41-10 or something like that. I'm expecting this to be, maybe too early to say this, but maybe the Northern 10 championship game right here.
That's probably fair to say.
Fair to say.
Cary, obviously a senior-laden team, a lot of experience there. Boy, Winford's been good for years, decades.
Were they the team that had like the 56-game regular season winning streak a while back?
That was correct in the old North Central Conference.
North Central Conference.
So, in fact, the LB loss was their first home loss in 10 years.
I think last year was the first year they didn't make the playoffs since like 2005 or something, and they were 2-8 last year. But yeah, it's been a while since they didn't make the playoffs. So yeah, they're always a good team.
Is there any way you could judge that game by their opener against Liberty Benton? What type of teams there will be? Is Liberty something like Cary, a power running game?
Well, Cary runs a wishbone. They'll throw out of it a little more than they have in the past, but their bread and butter is still the run game, and it'll be important for Cary to control the clock.
Friday night, I'll be heading out to Donnell Stadium to watch another kind of a surprise team in our estimation. Findlay's off to a 3-0 start. They're playing Oregon Clay's coming to town. The way things are setting up this year, if Findlay continues to play well, they could start 5-0, which I don't think a lot of people expected. The thing they have to worry about Oregon Clay is, I know Findlay's won 9 straight games, they've beaten Clay 9 straight times. Their series career record is 10-1, but every year they've played them in the track, Oregon Clay has been the team that scored first. Findlay's always had to come back against this team. They always get cranked up for Findlay. They know it's a team they think they can compete well against, but Findlay's playing very well right now. I think their defense is really playing heads-up ball, and if their offense keeps clicking, I think Findlay's going to start out 4-0, and if they play a good game the following week, they have a chance to go to 5-0 against Toledo St. John's, and wouldn't that be a surprise?
Dave, I think you better eat your press box meal early this week, because you're going to see a running clock in the second half.
Possibly. That should wrap it up for this week. Remember, get the Courier Saturday morning, check up all the stories and the scores, and check us out online. Thanks for joining us.